Yo, slow budget. Once again. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Today's date is February 13th, 2023, and it is a Monday. Ugh. I know my daughter wasn't happy this morning when she woke up. She was like, why does it have to be Monday? I'm like, well, because it comes after Sunday, baby. We can't stop time. That's simple. So she got up, went to school against her will, but at the end of the day, I know she loves school. Man, what a crazy weekend, Super Bowl Sunday. Whether you're a fan of either team, Chiefs or Eagles, I mean, we all won. It was a good game, back and forth. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better game. Thought it was going to go to OT. And I know a lot of people are complaining about that holding call at the end, but it was the right call. They missed so many calls in the game. At least they got one right at the end where it counted. First play of the game, helmet to helmet. I saw it. First I said, I was like, ooh, he's going to get a flag for that. No flag. And then replay showed obvious helmet to helmet. There were just so many calls that weren't called. But they did get that one right. Guy even admitted he was holding. He thought he was going to get away with it. So many guys got away with holding during the game. Exact same thing. Hand around the waist, pulling jerseys. But the refs got the right call. And that's two games in a row. The Chiefs, they came out on the better side of a penalty call. Bengals would have probably been in the Super Bowl had it wouldn't have been for a penalty their way. Against them, I should say. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was a good game. High scoring. I mean, Hurts was just killing it. 3 touchdowns rushing and 1 passing. And Mahomes did what Mahomes does. He has a lot of weapons. I'm glad Juju got a ring, ex-Steeler. What could I say? It was a decent game. Now, halftime, it was all right. You know what? I'm not one of those people where every single thing I'm just gonna be like, oh man, that was incredible. It doesn't matter. The average person, they can't say negative things. I can. I don't give up. You know what I mean? I'll say negative things. It was all right. People are saying greatest show ever. Come on. It was all right. And yes, I was one of the. I also said when we were watching it, like, man, she looks like she's pregnant. And then sure enough, came out that she was. I guess it's pretty crazy doing all that shit pregnant, but not my baby, not my life. But it was all right. What else can I say? Commercials. Were they as good as past years? Heck no. Best one was that Tubi commercial where it looked like someone was changing the TV. I had to look at my son like, Rocky, you got the remote? He was like, it's nowhere near me. And then we saw, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, and it seemed like they got everybody. So that was a good commercial. Other than that, the commercials were The Super Bowl halftime shows, The game was good. It did what it did. It passed the time. So congratulations to the Chiefs. I only know like 2 Chiefs fans, hardcore Chiefs fans, I should say. Everyone's a Chiefs fan. Everyone's a fan all of a sudden of the winning team once that team wins. I recognize the people that have been Chiefs fans for way longer. So my buddy Mike and Tim, hey, congrats. So what else happened? Also, there was a good UFC fight on Saturday. UFC card was pretty good. All the hype was there. 2 good co-main events. So we watched that, and then that brought me to something else. It just reminded me of something. The fact, those ring girls, people are saying that's the most useless job in the UFC, and it is. But the amount of money they make is crazy compared to what the fighters make. Most fighters, if you're not a champion or whatever, you're making $10,000 a show, $10,000 a win, and you're busting your ass to try to win that money. And think about it. Say you do win say you go for 10,000 and you lose. You still got to pay, you got to pay people. You got to pay your corner people, your cut man, your trainers. So, you're not making a lot. To put it in perspective, Ariana, everyone knows Ariana. She's been around for like 15 years. Her salary last year was $1 million for being a ring girl. Ngannou, the champion, made $600,000 last year on his fight. So, there is something wrong with the league when cheerleaders, quote, quote, ring girls make more money than the fighters do. And Dana White has been, this has been going around for a long time. And it's just crazy the amount of money he pays his fighters, which is nothing. You're talking about the highest level. This is the NFL football players, the major leagues of baseball. This is the top UFC, and your fighters, they don't get paid crap. And they're out there putting their fucking brain cells on the line, and he doesn't want to pay them crap. But that's been around forever. That's why other guys like Jake Paul and all of them are trying to bring these new fighting leagues and paying the fighters more and trying to poach fighters away. It's all about the money at the end of the day. Fighting is a hard sport. Just the stamina you need and the weight cutting, it's crazy. And for them to make so little, So hopefully things change in the future. Let's see, our semi-wall minor wrestlers had sectionals this past weekend, and 5 qualified for state. So that's pretty good. I think we came out of like 12 or 16 teams. We came out 6, and we only had like 7 wrestlers. So that was pretty good. Individually, Raymond, 113, was a champ. Andy at 165 came in second. Aiden Lozoya came in second at heavyweight. And then we got Jacob Tafoya and Tommy Morris, both at 144 and 190, came in third. So this week is state for high school wrestling, and I wish you guys luck. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, I didn't talk about this Friday, but I'll talk about it now, the Hall of Fame class. And to me, again, everyone else always looks at I'm not just always 100% positive. I remember telling someone like, this class, the 2023 Pro Football Hall of Fame class, is one of the weakest. And other people, but they're yeah, of course, they're Hall of Famers. Obviously, they had a good career. But compared to other years, this has got to be the weakest class. Rondé Barber, Darrelle Revis, Joe Thomas, Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, Chuck Howley, Joe Klecko, Ken Riley, and Don Coryell. Unless you're at my age or older, probably, you're not going to recognize hardly anybody on this list. There's no standout. I mean, Rondé Barber was average at best. Darrelle Revis, yes, he was a good defensive player. Joe Thomas also, I remember him playing for the Browns all those years. He was pretty good. Zach Thomas, DeMarcus Ware, a lot of defensive guys this year. I don't even know who Chuck Howley is. Joe Klecko, I just remember he was an old Jet. Or was it Eagle? See what I'm saying? It's just been so long. I don't know who Ken Riley is, and Don Coryell was a coach. So, yeah, honestly, this has got to be the weakest class in a long time for the Hall of Fame. But, yeah, they made the Hall of Fame. So, yes, obviously they did have a decent career. All I'm saying is compared to every year when you got these superstars, this is a weak class. So, a couple of things else I want to talk about since I got a few time. If you haven't watched the Obi-Wan show on Disney, it's a good show. What that does is, everyone knows the first Star Wars Episode 4. Luke's on Tatooine, and Ben Kenobi, old Ben, is right there watching him. Well, at the end of the last, Episode 3 of Star Wars, Luke is put on that planet as a baby to be watched by, his Uncle Owen. What Obi-Wan does is fill in that little gap of when he was dropped off to when Star Wars started. He's there on that planet watching, Luke. A couple of spoilers if you don't. So he goes on a mission to save Princess Leia, and it just fills in a little gap. It's a quick story. It's like, 5-episode show, and it's pretty good if you haven't seen it. Now, again, I pick up little things. When Obi-Wan ended, he might have, he was still young, and so we're thinking maybe 10 years has passed when Star Wars starts. And he's old already. Like, there's no way he aged that much in 10 years. So I picked up on that. And real quick, if you're a Star Wars fan, a lot of people don't know the story of Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford was Han Solo. And, of course, he's also Indiana Jones. The new Indiana Jones is coming back. Man, he looks old in it. Of course, I'm going to watch it, but man, he looks old. So anyway, he was 30 years old. He was a carpenter on the set of Star Wars at 30 years old. And the story goes, the guy that was supposed to read for Han Solo didn't show up or was late, so they asked him to stand in and read, and he got the part. And the rest is history. From going from a 30-year-old carpenter to Han Solo and Indiana Jones, it's a Hollywood story. So just want to bring that up real quick. Let's see. Tomorrow, Friday, my son did take me to eat at the new restaurant again, the one that I gave my review before. So on tomorrow's show, I'll give my review on my second attempt at eating at the new restaurant in town. So with that, I hope you guys have a great Monday, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Burn one. Yo. 21. Slow budget. Once again.